Ethics Committee legal counsel attorney Anthony Camacho explained to lawmakers how he arrived at the conclusion that Senator Matt Rector is in violation of 4 of the 9 issues listed in the ethics complaint filed by Port Board Chairman Monty Mesa.
The complaint warrants a full hearing, but only as to the second issue, which is whether funds from respondents' legislative budget have been or continue to be spent on fostering Guam Federation of Teachers activities, including whether such funds have been paid to the union for respondents' legislative office space, and including whether such funds have been used to pay for union copying charges for handouts during respondents' public speeches supporting union activities.
Attorney Camacho also recommended that issue number 4 warrants a hearing. Issue 4 is whether or not Rector's role as a senator in the 30th Guam legislature prohibits him from negotiating matters related to pay scales for the employees of the Port Authority. Also recommended for a hearing was issue number 8, which deals with whether or not Senator Rector is prohibited from engaging in activities with government agencies that involve union-related activities. Finally, issue number 9 was recommended for a hearing as it is closely related to issue 2. Issue 9 basically asks whether or not Senator Rector should be prohibited from using his legislative budget to pay rent to the union while he is union president.
We have a motion on the floor to go forward on issues 2, 4, 8, and 9. Do I hear a second?
I second that, Madam.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. Motion is unanimous.
This unanimous vote to accept the legal counsel's findings now entitles Senator Rector to a full-blown hearing that will, in essence, allow him to defend himself. The committee then decided to break the hearing up into 2 parts, the first of which will be held on January 13th. The hearing on the 13th will only deal with issues 2 and 9. Both are related to whether or not Rector has and should be allowed to use legislative funds to pay rent to the union where his senatorial office is located. Then, on the week of January the 18th, the committee will hold a hearing on the remaining issues, which include whether or not Rector negotiated the pay scales of Port Authority employees while being both a senator and a president of the union. The committee also decided to begin the process on ethics complaint number 2, which is centered around the senator's burglary conviction over 20 years ago in the state of California. On January 15th, the committee will hear Attorney Camacho's preliminary findings on whether or not that complaint has any merit. As part of the second complaint, Attorney Camacho has been tasked with tracking down a hard copy of Senator Rector's criminal record in California. To this date, no one has seen an actual copy of the senator's record. The Guam Police Department, the AG's office, and the Guam Election Commission have all been unable to get a copy of the senator's record.
So we requested a copy of that document from the Sacramento court. Unfortunately, at least at this time, they state that they cannot locate, as of today, that record in their court files. So I believe it may have taken place in some other county in California. So we're going to need to essentially look at some other counties.
Senator Rector has said in a previous interview with PNC News that he believed that his record had been sealed, which means it's not available to the public. Nevertheless, the Ethics Committee has authorized Attorney Camacho to subpoena whoever necessary to get a copy of those documents. The senator himself was asked by the committee to provide his records by today, but has failed to do so. Clint Rangel, PNC News.